Stop scrolling immediately. Do not move a single muscle. Take a deep breath right now and listen very closely to the frequency of my voice. This interface didn't bring you here by accident. The algorithm did not randomly select you out of billions of users to watch this specific video at this exact timestamp. What is happening right now is far more complex and far more intentional than a random digital occurrence. Your specific vibrational signature, the unique broadcast of your consciousness, pulled this video from the digital void directly into your awareness. You have intercepted this transmission because your current timeline is destabilizing. We are not dealing with algorithmic luck here. We are witnessing a conscious glitch in your matrix. You have been targeted for this message because you are standing on the precipice of a total reality reconfiguration. Consider this your initiation. There is a specific bandwidth of reality, a hidden frequency, that remains invisible to 99% of the population. Most people live their entire lives in the lower bandwidths of survival, reaction, and repetition. They wake up, they react to the world, they go to sleep, and they repeat. But if you are hearing my voice right now, if these words are resonating with a strange familiarity in your chest, it means you have already bypassed the firewall of mass consciousness. You have triggered a search query in the quantum field that demanded an answer, and this video is that answer. The only question remaining is, do you have the courage to walk through the dimensional door that just unlocked in front of you? Let's talk about why you are really here. You didn't click on this because you are satisfied. You clicked because you feel it. You feel the pressure. You feel the dissonance between the reality you are living and the reality you know, deep down, is actually yours. The vast majority of humans waste their entire incarnation waiting for the external world to validate their internal dreams. They are addicted to the screen of reality, waiting for the movie to change before they decide to feel different. They check their banking apps 10 times a day, looking for a number to give them permission to feel abundant. They scan their lovers' faces, analyzing micro-expressions, looking for proof of love to give them permission to feel secure. They analyze their physical circumstances, their job titles, their follower counts, looking for evidence that they are worthy. But here's the brutal truth that the Matrix doesn't want you to know. The mirror of reality cannot smile at you until you smile at it first. Waiting for the reflection to change before you change your expression is the definition of insanity, yet it is how 99% of the world operates. But listen closely, because we are about to reframe the most painful part of your journey. The silence you are experiencing right now, that frustrating delay where nothing seems to be moving, that feeling of being stuck in a void while everyone else seems to be moving forward. I need you to understand what that actually is. It is not emptiness. It is not punishment. It is not a sign that the universe has forgotten you or that you are doing it wrong. It is gestation. You have arrived at what quantum mechanics refers to as the zero-point field. In physics, the vacuum of space is not empty. It is teeming with energy, teeming with potential particles popping in and out of existence. It is the most energetic state in the universe, yet it looks like nothing to the naked eye. You are currently standing in the zero-point field of your own life. This is the precise coordinate where infinite potentiality is dense, heavy, and ready to collapse into a singular event. Think about a pregnancy. For the first few weeks, there's absolutely no external sign of life. If you look from the outside, you would say nothing is happening. But inside, the most complex, rapid, and miraculous biological architecture is being built. Cells are dividing, systems are forming, a new reality is being knit together from the invisible. If you were to disrupt that silence because you didn't see proof on the outside, you would abort the miracle. Your silence is not stagnation. Your silence is construction. Every single intention you have set, every visualization you have done, every moment you chose trust over panic when the bills were due, every time you decided to forgive instead of hold a grudge, all of that energy did not disappear. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change form. That energy has been accumulating in the quantum field, acting as a coordinate lock for your new timeline. You have been building the energetic architecture of your dream life, brick by invisible brick. You are currently standing at the event horizon of of your new identity. In astrophysics, the event horizon is the point of no return surrounding a black hole. Once you cross it, the old laws of physics no longer apply. You are at the event horizon of your own becoming. The old laws of your life, the struggle, the scarcity, the patterns of betrayal, the loop of almost making it, those laws are about to be suspended. But this transition requires a massive amount of energy, and that is why things feel so heavy right now. That is why you feel tired, why you feel emotional, why you feel like you are in a pressure cooker. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through. The pressure you feel is the atmospheric pressure of a new reality pressing against the walls of your old identity. Most people misinterpret this pressure. They think it means something is wrong. They say, if I was manifesting correctly, this would feel easy. That is a lie sold by people who have never truly shifted a timeline. The shift is easy, but the preparation for the shift requires structural integrity. If you pour high-voltage electricity into a wire that isn't built for it, the wire melts. The universe is currently upgrading your nervous system to handle the voltage of your desires. You asked for the millions. You asked for the soulmate. You asked for the massive impact. That level of reality carries a massive energetic charge. If you received it yesterday, it would have fried your circuit board. The void you are in is actually a recalibration chamber. So, I invite you to reframe your waiting. Stop calling it waiting. Waiting implies passivity. Waiting implies you are a victim of time. Start calling it loading. Start calling it calibration. Start calling it the quiet before the crescendo. When an arrow is pulled back on a bow, it appears to be moving backward. It is held in a state of extreme tension. It is not moving forward toward the target yet. To an uneducated observer, it looks like the arrow is stuck. It looks like the arrow is in a void of stillness. But that stillness is kinetic potential. The further back it is pulled, the more tension it endures, the faster and farther it will fly when the release happens. You are the arrow. This moment of your life, this tension, this financial tightness, this emotional solitude, this is you being pulled back. The universe is gathering momentum. The distance you feel from your dream is not a measure of failure. It is a measure of the potential velocity of your launch. You must understand the physics of this to survive the next phase. Because what comes next is the most dangerous part of the process. It is the part where 99% of people fail. They survive the struggle, they survive the work, but they fail at the transition. They fail right at the moment the arrow is about to be released. Why? Because they don't understand the mechanics of the quantum collapse. In the next section of this transmission, we are going to dissect the mechanism of how a probability becomes a physical object. We're going to look at the observer effect, not as a textbook theory, but as the literal tool you use to turn thoughts into things. But before we go there, you need to anchor yourself in this truth. The glitch you are experiencing, this video finding you, is the signal that the pullback phase is complete. The tension has reached its maximum. The hand of the archer is about to open. Are you ready to fly? Or are you going to grip the string in fear? Take a moment. Feel the space around you. It is not empty air. It is intelligent, responsive, living energy. It is the zero-point field, and it is listening to your heartbeat right now. It is waiting for your command to reorganize itself. Let's break this down scientifically to dismantle the illusion of separation once and for all. In the invisible architecture of quantum physics, a subatomic particle, the fundamental building block of your reality, exists in a state known as superposition. This implies that until it is observed by a conscious mind, the particle is not located in point A or point B. It is literally in both places, and infinite other places, simultaneously. It exists purely as a wave of probability, a ghost of potential, hovering in a cloud of could be. It is everywhere and nowhere until a conscious observer directs their laser-focused attention upon it and demands it to take a specific location in time and space. This is not just a theoretical concept reserved for high-tech laboratories. This is the operating system of your daily life. Your desires, whether it is the financial empire you want to build, the specific person you want to wake up next to, the healed body you want to inhabit, or the freedom you want to taste, are currently hovering in this exact state of superposition. They are not in the future, waiting to be created. Time is merely a construct of the conscious mind used to organize experience linearly. In the quantum field, there's only the eternal now. Your wealth, your love, your health, they are right here, right now, vibrating in the room with you. But they are existing as a wave function. They are in the quantum cloud, waiting for your dominant observation to snap them into three-dimensional reality. This process is technically called the collapse of the wave function. It is the precise micro-moment when infinite possibilities collapse into a singular, tangible fact. And here's the secret that no one tells you in standard self-help books. You are collapsing reality every single second of every single day. But you are doing it unconsciously. You are collapsing the wave function based on your deep-seated fears, your past traumas, and your accumulated expectations of failure. When you wake up in the morning and immediately think, I am so tired, I have so much to do, I never have enough time, you have just observed the quantum field and collapsed it into a reality of stress, fatigue, and scarcity. You gave the command, and the atoms obeyed instantly. You are a powerful creator, but you have been creating a nightmare by default because your observation settings are stuck on survival mode. We are here to change your default setting from unconscious reaction to conscious creation. The moment of materialization, that audible pop where the invisible wave becomes the solid particle, is approaching with mathematical certainty for the desires you have been focusing on recently. You have done the work. You have set the intention. The wave is getting heavy. The probability is turning into inevitability. But this is the danger zone. Right here, at the absolute threshold of the breakthrough, is where 99% of people self-sabotage. This is the point where the rubber meets the road, and unfortunately, it is where the ego usually grabs the steering wheel in a panic and drives the car off the cliff. Why? Because of the silence we discussed. Because of the delay between the energetic shift and the physical evidence. When the physical reality doesn't immediately match the internal vision, the primitive brain panics. It goes into high alert survival mode. It looks at the bank account and sees a zero where there should be millions. It looks at the phone and sees no text where there should be a declaration of love. And because the primitive brain relies solely on the limited feedback of the 5 physical senses, it screams, "It's not working. I am a fool for believing this. Stop everything. Abort mission." This is where the tragedy happens. They tighten their energetic grip. They start frantically refreshing their emails. They start looking for signs with a desperate, hungry, starving energy. They start trying to make it happen physically. They start manipulating people, forcing conversations, overworking, and hustling out of fear. This reaction is a fatal error. It is the energetic equivalent of planting a seed, and then digging it up every hour to see if it has roots yet. By digging it up, you expose it to the harsh light, you disturb the delicate soil, and you kill the very miracle you were waiting for. You must understand that the final stage of high-level manifestation demands a paradox that feels completely counterintuitive to your logical mind. Radical detachment. You have to stop checking the oven. You have to stop looking for the package on the porch. You have to step back and let the laws of physics do their job without your micromanagement. Consider the wisdom embedded in nature's most powerful processes. Look at the oak tree. It begins as a tiny, unassuming acorn buried in the dark, cold dirt. The acorn does not suffer from anxiety about whether it will become a tree. It does not have an identity crisis. It does not hold weekly strategy meetings with other acorns to discuss growth hacks. It does not compare itself to the pine tree next door. It simply surrenders. It surrenders to the encoded intelligence within its own DNA, trusting the same biorhythm that orchestrates the rotation of planets and the tides of the ocean. It knows, without knowing, that becoming a tree is inevitable. It doesn't have to try to become a tree. It just allows the process of becoming to unfold through it. This is the frequency you are being invited to embody right now. The frequency of inevitability. When you order a meal at a high-end restaurant, what do? You place the order. The waiter nods and walks away. And you go back to your conversation. You relax. You drink your water. You don't run into the kitchen 5 minutes later screaming, "Are you sure you're cooking it? Did you forget me? Show me the ingredients. I need to see the chef right now." You don't do that because you have a level of certainty. You have an implied agreement. You know the chaotic activity in the kitchen, the chopping, the fire, the cooking, is happening for you, even though you can't see it. You trust the chef. You trust the system. Why do you trust a waiter more than you trust the infinite intelligence that spins galaxies? This checking behavior stems from a profound lack of trust, and in the quantum world, lack of trust is a frequency that repels the object of desire. When you are constantly looking for proof that your manifestation is coming, you are broadcasting the signal. It is not here. The universe, acting as a giant photocopier of your vibration, receives the signal, "It is not here," and dutifully gives you more experiences of it not being there. It validates your doubt because it respects your free will to create absence. This is exactly backwards. The art of manifestation, in its final, most critical stages, requires you to embody the feeling of the result before the result arrives. This is what the mystic Neville Goddard meant by living in the end. It isn't about pretending or faking it. It is about a deep, quiet, unshakable knowing. Think about something you already own. Think about your bed sheets. You don't walk around all day worrying if your bed sheets will be there when you get home. You don't visualize your bed sheets in the morning. You don't affirm, "I am so grateful for my sheets." You just know they are there. You have a relationship of havingness with them. That energy is neutral, calm, and certain. That is the energy of manifestation. It's not excitement. Excitement implies novelty and surprise. It's not desperation. Desperation implies lack. It is normalization. You need to normalize your miracle before it arrives. You need to reach a state where receiving that $1 million or that text message feels as normal, as boring, and as expected as finding your bed sheets at home. When the desire feels huge and exciting and out of reach, you are putting it on a pedestal. And in the energetic realm, whatever you put on a pedestal looks down on you. You separate yourself from it. You create a distance called worthiness. But when you relax, when you detach, when you stop gripping the steering wheel so tight your knuckles turn white, you collapse the distance. You bring the desire down from the pedestal and into your pocket. You make it natural. Now, the cosmic joke is that everything you've been seeking has been seeking you with equal intensity. This is the great truth the poets whispered. What you seek is seeking you. While you've been wondering if your prayers are being heard, wondering if you are doing the technique right, the universe has been orchestrating a symphony of synchronicities behind your back to deliver exactly what you need. The problem isn't that the universe isn't answering. The problem is that you are too busy screaming, "Where is it?" to hear the knock at the door. While you have been stressing, the quantum field has been rearranging the chessboard of life. It has been moving people into new cities, ending relationships that were blocking the path, creating accidental meetings, causing servers to crash, causing flights to be delayed, all to position you and your desire in the same place at the same time. The complexity of this coordination is beyond the capacity of the human mind to comprehend. If you try to manage it yourself, you would fail in a nanosecond. That is why you must surrender the how. The how is not your business. The how is the domain of the quantum field. Your business is the what and the who. What do you want, and who are you being? The timing isn't late. It's precisely calibrated to your soul's evolution. If you had received the manifestation a year ago, your ego might have destroyed it. If you had received the money before you developed the discipline, the money would have crushed you. If you had met the soulmate before you learned to love yourself, you would have bled on them and ruined the connection. The delay was protection. The delay was preparation. Here's what changes everything. Release is not about giving up your desires. People misunderstand this constantly. They think surrender means, "I guess I won't have it, I give up." No, surrender means giving up your attachment to how they must appear and when they must appear. It means loosening the death grip on the specific form your dreams must take. Maybe you want a specific job because you think it will bring you freedom. The universe looks at that and says, That job is actually a prison, but I can give you the freedom you want through this business opportunity over here. If you are fixated on the job, you will miss the business. You will fight the universe, thinking you are being denied, when actually you are being redirected to something far superior. When you release the death grip, you allow the universe to deliver something far more extraordinary than your limited imagination could have conceived. This is where quantum entanglement becomes your greatest ally, and understanding it is the key to unlocking the next level of power. Let's go deeper into the mechanics of this connection. In the strange and beautiful world of quantum physics, there is a phenomenon called quantum entanglement. Einstein famously called it spooky action at a distance because it defied everything we thought we knew about the separation of objects. Entanglement occurs when two particles interact in such a way that they become effectively one single system. Even if you separate these particles by billions of light years, placing one on Earth and one on the edge of the Andromeda galaxy, they remain instantly connected. If you change the spin of the particle on Earth, the particle in Andromeda changes its spin instantaneously, faster than the speed of light. There is no time lag. There is no distance. They are entangled. Here is the application for your life. Your consciousness has become entangled with your desires. The moment you truly desired that specific reality, the moment you felt the emotion of it, visualized it, and claimed it, you became quantumly entangled with it. That reality is not out there somewhere in the future waiting for you to travel to it. It is entangled with you right now. The invisible threads connecting you to your manifestation are unbreakable. However, there's a frequency modulator that determines whether you experience that connection as pain or as pleasure, as absence or as presence. That modulator is the difference between wanting energy and receiving energy. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in wanting energy. They think wanting is a good thing. They think wanting shows the universe how much they care. But in energetic terms, wanting is a broadcast of lack. When you vibrate with the frequency of "I really want this," you are simultaneously broadcasting the subtext, I do not have this." The universe is literal. It does not hear your plea. It reads your signature. If your signature is "I don't have it," the quantum field, which is simply a mirror, must arrange your reality to confirm that you don't have it. Wanting energy pushes the object of desire away. It creates a magnetic repulsion. It operates from assumption of separation. Receiving energy is the polar opposite. Receiving energy draws everything toward you. It operates from abundance. It operates from the knowing that what belongs to you is already yours in the quantum field, simply waiting to materialize in physical form. Receiving energy is magnetic. It is the energy of the open door, not the grasping hand. Imagine trying to catch a wild butterfly. If you run after it, wanting energy, you create a wave of air pressure that pushes the butterfly away. The harder you run, the faster it flies. But if you stop, sit down, become still, and emit a frequency of peace, receiving energy, the butterfly eventually lands on your shoulder. Manifestation is not a chase, it is a landing. Take a breath right here and feel into this truth. You are not trying to get something from the universe. You are allowing the universe to give something to you. This shift in perception changes your entire energetic signature. Instead of broadcasting need, you begin broadcasting readiness. And readiness, my friend, is the frequency that collapses superposition into reality. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. As I say these words, your mind, your logical, analytical, protective mind, is probably generating a dozen reasons why this doesn't apply to you. It is whispering, "But my situation is different. But I have debt. But he blocked me. But the doctor said it's impossible. But I've been waiting for 5 years." I want you to know that this resistance is not your enemy. It is not a sign that you are blocked. This resistance is the final guardian at the gate. Every hero's journey, from ancient myths to modern movies, includes this moment. Right before the treasure is revealed, the hero faces the ultimate test. The resistance you feel, the doubts, the logical arguments, the sudden wave of fear, is simply your old identity fighting for its survival. Your old self, the version of you that identifies as a victim, or a seeker, or a struggler, is terrified of dying. It knows that if you truly step into this receiving energy, it ceases to exist. So it throws up every defense mechanism it has. It uses logic, it uses past trauma, it uses reality checks to try and pull you back into the safety of the known, even if the known is miserable. This resistance is actually a good sign. It means you are close. It means you are threatening the status quo of your matrix. If you weren't close to a breakthrough, your ego wouldn't be fighting this hard. Here's the key to moving through resistance without getting stuck in the mud. Do not fight it, and do not feed it. Most people try to fight their negative thoughts. They try to suppress the doubt. They say, "Go away, I have to be positive." This just adds energy to the resistance. What you resist persists. Instead, acknowledge the resistance the way you might acknowledge dark clouds passing through a blue sky. You don't scream at the clouds. You don't try to push them with your hands. You simply observe them. You say, "I see you, doubt. I see you, fear. I know you are trying to protect me from disappointment, but we are doing something different now." Your job is to remain anchored in the frequency of your choosing, regardless of what weather patterns move through your mental atmosphere. You are the sky, not the clouds. The sky is never damaged by the storm. It simply holds the space for it to pass. As you stabilize in this receiving energy, you will notice a shift in how you move through the world. Inspired action will begin flowing through you naturally. This is crucial to understand because many people confuse surrender with laziness. They think they should sit on the couch and do nothing. That is not surrender. That is paralysis. When you are truly aligned, you will become incredibly active, but the quality of the action will be different. This isn't the forced action that comes from impatience or fear. "I have to do this or else it won't happen." This is the effortless action that arises when you are in partnership with universal intelligence. You will get a sudden impulse to drive down a different street. You will feel an urge to call someone you haven't spoken to in years. You will wake up with an idea for a video, or a business, or a text message, and it will feel like light. It will feel like play. The difference between forced action and inspired action is felt in the body. Forced action creates tension in the jaw, tightness in the chest, and exhaustion. It feels like swimming upstream against a raging river. Inspired action feels easeful, energizing, and aligned. It feels like lifting your feet and allowing the current to carry you downstream. The universe does the heavy lifting. You just steer the boat. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time without trying. Conversations will unfold that open doors you didn't know existed. Resources will appear exactly when you need them. Not a minute before, not a minute after. This is the precision of divine coordination. We spoke about timing earlier, but let's go deeper. The universe operates on perfect timing, not human timing. Human timing is linear and impatient. It wants the baby in 1 month instead of 9. It wants the harvest the day after the planting. Divine timing is spherical and holistic. It sees the entire picture. What looks like a delay from your limited perspective is actually divine protection from the quantum perspective. Every element of your manifestation has been aligning behind the scenes. Maybe the person you need to meet isn't ready yet. Maybe the house you want isn't on the market yet because the sellers haven't found their new home. Maybe you aren't ready yet because you still have a limiting belief that would sabotage the success if it arrived today. The entire field of possibility has been reorganizing itself around your highest good. This is why surrender feels so terrifying and so liberating simultaneously. You're not just letting go of control over outcomes. You're letting go of the illusion that you ever had control in the first place. You are stepping into partnership with the same intelligence that beats your heart without your conscious direction and grows your fingernails while you sleep. If it can manage your biology, surely it can manage your bank account. Here is a practice that will shift everything for you in the next 24 hours. It is a subtle shift in your visualization technique. Most people visualize to make things happen. They close their eyes and strain their brains trying to project an image onto the screen of their mind, hoping that if they do it hard enough, the universe will obey. This is wanting energy disguised as a spiritual practice. It is effort. It is trying. In the next part of this transmission, I am going to teach you Visualization 2.0. We are going to move from visualizing to create to visualizing to remember. We are going to hack your memory centers to trick your brain into believing the event has already occurred. This is the technique that separates the novices from the masters. Are you ready to hack your own timeline? Here is the upgrade. Instead of visualizing what you want in order to get it, begin visualizing yourself as someone who is remembering a past event. In the quantum field, time is not linear. It does not flow from past to present to future. All time exists simultaneously in a vertical stack. This means the version of you who has already achieved the dream, the you who is holding the money, kissing the partner, living in the house, exists right now. That version is as real as the version of you watching this video. When you visualize correctly, you are not making up a fantasy. You are tuning into the frequency of that future self and accessing their memories. Stop trying to create the scene. Instead, relax and allow yourself to remember the scene. Does a memory feel stressful? No. Does a memory feel like hard work? No. A memory feels solid. It feels done. It feels factual. When you shift your intention from imagining to remembering, your brain stops fighting you. Your subconscious mind accepts memories as facts, whereas it often rejects visualizations as daydreams. See yourself moving through life with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the universe supports them. Feel the energy of being someone for whom manifestation flows effortlessly, not because you are special, but because you are aligned. This identity shift is the secret that separates the 1% from everyone else. Most people identify as someone who's trying to manifest. They wear the identity of the seeker. But a seeker, by definition, is not found. You are being invited to identify as someone who naturally attracts their desires because they have learned to match the frequency of receiving. You are the finder. You are the haver. Take a moment right now. This is an interactive activation, and comment below with this exact phrase. I am ready to receive what's already mine. Do not just type it casually. Feel it as you write it. Let it be a declaration to the quantum field that you are stepping out of wanting energy and into receiving energy. This is your conscious signal to the universe that you are prepared for what's coming. It is a digital anchor for your new timeline. When you truly embody this receiving frequency, synchronicities begin to cascade. The right book falls off the shelf at the perfect moment. You have a chance encounter that changes everything. An opportunity appears that seems too good to be true, but is actually just the universe finally having a clear channel to deliver what it's been trying to give you all along. But here's what no one talks about in standard manifestation teachings. The final phase before breakthrough often looks like nothing is happening. This is the trick. This is the test. Behind the scenes, reality is restructuring itself. The quantum field is collapsing your desires from possibility into probability into inevitability. This apparent stillness before manifestation is not emptiness. It's pregnancy. It's the sacred pause before birth. It's the universe taking a deep breath before delivering miracles into your experience. Most people interpret this pause as failure and give up right before their breakthrough. You are not going to make that mistake. Understanding energy frequencies will accelerate everything for you. Let's look at the physics of emotion. Gratitude vibrates at 540 Hz. Love vibrates at 528 Hz. Joy operates around 540 Hz. Fear vibrates at a low, dense 100 Hz. Doubt drags you down to roughly 125 Hz. When you consciously choose thoughts and emotions that operate at higher frequencies, you literally tune yourself to the radio station where your desires are broadcasting. This isn't metaphor. This is measurable science. Your thoughts generate electromagnetic frequencies that interact with the quantum field in ways we're only beginning to understand. When you align your personal frequency with the frequency of your desires, you create what physicists call constructive interference, where waves amplify each other rather than canceling each other out. Every emotion you feel is either aligning you with your desires or creating static in the signal. This is why mindfulness becomes crucial at this stage. You're not trying to be positive all the time in a fake, bypassy way. You're becoming conscious of the frequency you're broadcasting and making intentional choices about which energies you want to amplify. You are the DJ of your own energetic radio station. Stop playing the sad songs of your past and expecting a future of celebration. Resistance will show up in subtle forms. Now, it might appear as sudden busyness that distracts you from your practices. It might manifest as relationships that drain your energy or circumstances that test your faith. This isn't the universe conspiring against you. It's the old reality making one final attempt to keep you in patterns that no longer serve your evolution. It is an extinction burst of the old neural pathways. Here's the key to moving through resistance without getting stuck. Don't fight it and don't feed it. Acknowledge it. Ah, there's the old pattern. And then, gently return your focus to the new. Here is where everything I've shared crystallizes into practical magic. You are being invited to step into a new identity right now. Not when your desires manifest. Not when you see external proof. Right now, the version of you who naturally receives what they desire isn't a future possibility. It's a present moment choice. Every moment you choose to embody this receiving identity, you strengthen the quantum entanglement between your current reality and your desired reality. Every moment you choose thoughts, emotions, and actions from this elevated identity, you literally rewire your nervous system. This is neuroplasticity. Your brain is physically changing as you listen to this. New neural highways are being paved. Old highways of fear and scarcity are being overgrown with weeds from lack of use. You are downloading new software. Software that knows how to navigate quantum realities. Software that recognizes abundance as natural. Software that interprets synchronicities as normal communication from the universe. This downloading process will continue for hours and days after you finish watching this video, integrating deeper with each sleep cycle as your brain consolidates these new patterns. This is why timing is so crucial. Your consciousness had to reach a specific level of development before it could safely receive and integrate this transmission without overwhelming your system. The fact that you're here, that these words are making sense, that something inside you is saying, yes, this is true, is proof that you've reached that developmental threshold. What you're experiencing isn't just intellectual understanding, it's quantum resonance recognition. Your consciousness is remembering frequencies it once knew but forgot during the process of incarnating into physical form. These frequencies are your natural birthright, your original blueprint. Movement and embodiment accelerate this process because they help you literally embody the energy of your desires. Your desires aren't just mental concepts. They have an energetic signature that wants to be expressed through your physical form. When you move your body in ways that feel aligned with your expanded identity, you create coherence between your mental, emotional, and physical bodies. This doesn't mean you need to dance or do yoga, though those can be wonderful practices. It means you allow your body to express the energy of what you're calling in. Walk like someone who naturally receives what they desire. Sit like someone who trusts the universe. Breathe like someone who knows their dreams are already on their way. If you were a millionaire, how would you walk to the kitchen? Would you rush? Would you be hunched over and worry? Or would you move with a relaxed, spacious ease? If you were deeply loved, how would you check your phone? Would you check it with anxiety? Or would you check it with the assumption that good news is waiting? Hack your biology. By acting the part physically, you send a signal back up the vagus nerve to your brain, telling it that the reality has already changed. The nervous system cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined / enacted experience and an actual experience. When you consistently embody your expanded identity, your nervous system begins to create the biological foundation for that identity to become your lived reality. You are creating the container, and once the container is built, the universe has no choice but to fill it. Most people try to pull their dreams down to their current level of being. You're being invited to rise up to the level of being that matches your dreams. In the final part of this transmission, we're going to discuss the phenomenon of quantum tunneling and phase locking. We will explain why your breakthrough will likely happen suddenly, rather than gradually, and how to handle the chaos, entropy, that often precedes the new order. We will seal this energetic contract. Let me leave you with a concept that explains why your breakthrough is going to happen suddenly, not gradually. In classical physics, if you roll a ball up a hill and it doesn't have enough energy, it rolls back down. But in quantum physics, particles can do something impossible. They can disappear from one side of a barrier and instantly reappear on the other side without ever crossing the space in between. This is called quantum tunneling. Your consciousness is about to experience its own version of quantum tunneling. You are not going to climb the mountain of your problems. You are going to tunnel through them. One day the debt is there, the next day it is dissolved. One day you are single. The next day you are meeting the love of your life in a coffee shop. This tunneling effect explains why breakthroughs often feel sudden, even though they've been building for months. You are shifting timelines. There's a version of you, right now, in a parallel sector of the multiverse, who is already living your dream. You don't need to become that person. You need to tune into them. The dimensional walls between your current reality and that parallel reality are thinning. That gut feeling you have, that sudden flash of excitement for no reason, is your future self reaching back through the quantum field, grabbing your hand and pulling you forward. You are experiencing phase locking. In physics, phase locking occurs when two oscillating systems synchronize their frequencies. Think of two pendulums placed on the same surface. Eventually, they start swinging in perfect rhythm. Your current reality frequency is beginning to synchronize with the frequency of your desired reality. This synchronization process creates what scientists call a phase transition. Think of water turning into steam. You heat the water to 99 degrees. It still looks like water. Nothing seems to be changing. If you stopped there, you would say it didn't work. But the moment it hits 100 degrees, a phase transition occurs. The water suddenly changes state and becomes steam. It expands exponentially. You are at 99 degrees. Do not turn off the heat. Do not look at the water and say it's still liquid. The phase transition is imminent. New abilities, new wealth, new love. They are emergent properties of your new energy state. But I must give you one final warning about decoherence. In quantum systems, if the environment interacts too much with the system, the quantum magic stops. The wave collapses back into a boring particle. This is called decoherence. In your life, decoherence happens when you let the old world dictate your state. Every time you complain to a friend about how hard life is, you are creating decoherence. Every time you doom scroll on social media and feel jealous, you are creating decoherence. You are collapsing your wave back into the old pattern. You must protect your coherence. You must guard your frequency like it is the most valuable asset you own, because it is. The quantum vacuum is teeming with virtual particles. Your reality is teeming with virtual manifestations. They are flickering in and out. Try and stabilize. Keep your focus steady. Ignore the noise, and they will solidify into hard matter. Finally, if your life feels chaotic right now, if things are breaking down, if people are leaving, celebrate. Seriously, celebrate the chaos. You have reached maximal entropy. The old system is breaking down because it cannot hold the magnitude of your new energy. You cannot put a jet engine in a bicycle. The bicycle will fall apart. Your old life is the bicycle. It is falling apart to make room for the jet. Chaos is not the end. Chaos is the construction site of the new order. Here is your final instruction. Start your morning tomorrow by wearing the avatar of your future self. Before you get out of bed, ask, "Who am I today?" If you do this for 10 minutes and then spend the rest of the day reacting like your old self, you create destructive interference. You cancel out your own prayer. You must maintain the signal. At every choice point today, ask, what would my wealthy version do? What would my healed version do? Then do that. Ignore the logic. Follow the intuition. You are living two lives right now. The fading ghost of the old world and the brightening sun of the new one. Feed the new one. Starve the old one. Your brain has physically changed while listening to this. New neural highways have been paved. This is neuroplasticity driven by soul force. You have downloaded the new software. The static is clearing. The signal is strong. You are not just watching a video. You have accepted a transmission. You have signed a contract. Welcome to the timeline where you win. I am ready to receive. Are you?